Welcome to the Mythic Movie Maker podcast, where we analyze movies from a mythological perspective. My name is John, and this is my brother Nick.
Hello.
And Nick, we are deep in the throes. We're actually nearing the end of the Cameron Ex Machina series.
Well,
Um,
actually, like as of current date, this is the end
yeah, as of
of
current date, yeah.
yeah
But
of released James Cameron movies.
what movie are we reviewing today?
We are reviewing Avatar: The Way of Water.
Do you have a quote for us?
I actually do not.
Okay, can
I was looking. I
I?
was I was looking for a quote for half the movie and I
I wrote
couldn't
down
find anything that I really
actually,
liked.
I'm not I'm not big on quotes, like writing the quotes down, but there were a few of these in here that I quite liked for different reasons. How about this? Let's see if this sparks anything in you. You can kill Marines, but we'll just regroup in hell.
Yeah, that dovetails into one of my least favorite things about the movie.
Okay. Expand.
Okay, so like I feel like killing off a character and like getting the pathos payoff of having that character die is especially if it's a major character is supposed to be like this sacrifice where you're killing off a
Oh
cool and
yeah.
interesting character and then just in the next movie like conniving a reason for the character just to like, oh look, he's back,
Yeah.
is like a very indulgent thing for a writer to do.
Uh well yeah, 'cause just you spend so much time for the writer, you spend so much time building this character to kill them off. It seems egregious. It's like wasted work. But as a viewer, yeah, like, you kind of are okay with the character dying because that means that there will be new characters around to replace him, you know? And
Yeah.
audiences like new stuff. They don't like to see the same thing over and over again.
Well, no, I'm like
Or at least the audience of me.
yeah, because to be entirely honest, like, having like watching Quaritch chew the scenery in the first movie was a delight.
Yeah. I
And
liked him. Yeah.
his performance in this movie is just as good. Like
It was
he's
so
fun
weird.
he's fun to watch. Like
Yeah.
he's like his presence is kind of a positive aspect of this of the movie, but um
It takes away.
it takes like it makes like death is supposed to be like one of the most meaningful things that you can do to a character. And the idea that like anytime a character dies, like there's now this open door for them just to come back, you know.
Yeah.
And in this movie, it happened to
Multiple.
two different characters on either side of the conflict. So now, like any character on the side of the Navi that dies can now be, you know, resurrected through immaculate conception, and any character on the human side of the conflict can now just be resurrected as a clone. So it's so like you've and even if you're not
Are you
consciously
telling me,
thinking,
Nick, there's a subtle theme of immaculate conception in this movie?
yeah, very
I didn't
yeah,
catch that. I watched it. I watched it three times, and I went right over my head.
yeah. I spent 10 hours watching this one movie.
Yeah. Well, we saw it twice in the theaters with Dad, didn't we?
So
Didn't we
I
see?
thought we saw it once in the theater. I thought.
Oh, okay. Well, oh yeah, I saw it.
I th-
I saw it twice, and then once was with you guys,
okay, yeah,
and then I saw it today.
yeah. So like killing off characters and then just bringing them back is maybe it bugs other people less than it bugs me. In this movie, when older son, the least characterized of the children,
Yeah.
dies, they're like clearly they had four kids because they were planning to kill one off.
Okay.
Um, but you know, let's go past past that.
That's so
Uh,
cynical.
no, like there was just like too many kids to keep track of at the very beginning of the movie, and like you're
Yeah.
like later on the mystery is solved. Oh, it's because they made an extra so we can
Well,
have this moment.
when the little one was like, I can't believe I got handcuffed again. I was like, oh yeah, there is a little kid. Like I forgot.
Yeah. So like yeah, but when when that son dies, like
Yeah.
there's no sense that like death hasn't been completely um isn't completely toothless. Because when that kid dies, there's zero expectation that they're gonna come back. They're dead for good.
But
Like
doesn't
everyone
he?
know he doesn't. He's dead. The last
But
scene of the movie is a funeral. You watched that like 10 minutes ago.
but what was the scene after that?
Um, it was them dropping the body down into the 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 reef tentacles.
And then they hooked into the reef tentacles and they Jake had like a conversation with him.
Well, that's how all their funerals are. Remember when like the chief in the first movie died and they like had the big funeral at the big tree with all the pink glowy shit?
Um did they talk to did they like
They
no.
didn't,
He had an
but they said like,
actual
oh, he's
conversation like about like fishing
no,
with
he was reliving the memory. There's like immaculately conceived sorceress.
mm-hmm.
There is the little tiny one who says baby things, probably for
Mm-hmm.
comedic effect.
There's a
And then
violent
there's
one.
no, and then there's like two boys that are about
Oh
the
yeah.
same age, and it's really easy to get them mixed up
Yeah, it is.
because one of them's a spare.
Yeah. I was going to compare them to us until you said that. But on the topic of the dying, oh, and I want to talk about the Immaculately Conceived Girl because James Cameron wants us to talk about that. He sent me an email.
Yeah.
He's like,
Mm.
make sure to talk about. Did you notice that I did the Immaculate Conception in my movie? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
James. I noticed. I think everyone noticed on the people coming back from the dead sort of topic. I think it's interesting that you went there because I think that dovetails with my quote very well. Because, in the last episode, we sort of ended by I was making the kind of argument that this place is sort of a spirit world, you know. Pandora actually acts as kind of a spirit world where you hook in and like the internet, remember? It's
Yeah.
kind of like if the internet is like a physical representation of the spirit world where you can go in and learn random stuff without actually being there. You can see, you can see things without actually being there. You like remote project yourself. You can,
You can talk to someone.
yeah, you can
Uh,
read other people's thought or you can like hear other people's thoughts from far away distant places. You're like everything's interconnected.
mhm.
Um, I am more convinced now, having watched this movie, the second movie, that Pandora is literally supposed to mean what it's supposed to be is a representation of the spirit world. Like
I would agree that it is for sure at least a more spiritual world.
no, I
Like
literally mean it is supposed to be like they humans have figured out a way to fly a spaceship to the actual spirit world.
oh, you mean like in the actual like that's going to be in the third movie? Like it's gonna
No, I mean like it's that hardcore of a metaphor. Like, and so when the colonel says, Oh, what was the quote? You can kill Marines, but we'll just regroup in hell. He's literally talking about going to heaven and invading heaven. That's what I mean. Like literally.
Uh, like yeah, like in the sense like Pandora is kind of like a heaven-like place where it's supposed to be
Hmm.
this beautiful, serene paradise
Yeah.
that's being like trampled on by these ugly, disgusting humans.
Yeah. Like the avatars are, if Pandora is supposed to be heaven, what are the avatars?
Angels.
Angels.
There there is like
And then so what is Pandora?
heaven.
Uh well, no, not sorry, my bad. Fuck. I forget what the name is of the thing, the spirit.
Awa.
Awa. So what is Awa?
Awa's God.
And then what does Awa kind of sound like? Like if you flip the words around, the letters around.
Yahweh. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Like that I feel like the Yahweh thing was an intentional thing.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
That that feels I can't tell you why it feels right, but it feels like the kind of thing that that like James Cameron sitting down at his computer like Awa sounds like
Yeah.
Yahweh.
What do I
Yeah.
call this? What do I call it? What do I call it? Awa.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting is um if Yahweh is like this very masculine version of God that does masculine things, the opposite of that would be Awa, and that's like the opposite of Yahweh, the word.
Yeah, a very nurturing goddess.
Yeah. Well, so do you disagree? Do you think it's not supposed to? Well, what do you think of that? Like, if you think about it, a lot of characters die and go to heaven. Pandora. The Colonel died and he came back as an avatar, so he's sort of like he kind of represents like a Satan type figure, you know, or is making eternal war. I mean, it's not a perfect metaphor, but
Yeah,
that
well
thought,
he's not an antagonist to Awa. He's definitely a matched opponent to Jake Sully.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's very clear that this is supposed to be like the hurdle, like the Darth Vader that Jake has to deal with for the rest of the series.
uh-huh. Well, what was it? Well, I just thought it was an interesting idea to like fly a spaceship. Basically, like imagine heaven was a physical place and you can just fly a spaceship there. This is exactly
Hmm.
what humans would do. We would be like, okay, this is ours now. Get out.
Yeah, well, so it's kind of like it's the opposite of Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, hey,
That's a great
we
point. I didn't think of that.
yeah, we built an engine that sends you to hell.
Great. Remind me not to go on that.
Yeah. Okay, so
Um,
I
well,
think like
yeah,
Pandora being actual literal heaven, I don't think is where they're going.
sure.
Pandora being a like a more like mystical, sympathetic place where like thoughts and emotions have real meaning, like
Hmm.
in a physical sense, it can influence the world around you. I feel like that's the case.
Hmm.
Like, like Earth is dull and mundane and there's no magic there. But Pandora is a place where magic is real.
Hmm.
I think is kind of where they're going with the whole Kiri being able to like commune with the planet and like mind control animals just by waving her arms.
Like people say, like the spirit world. And I think James Cameron was like, okay, well, you said world, right? What if that is a world, you know? And I think so it works as a metaphor, I guess, in the same way that the internet does, where you can like actually see it and be like, oh, this is the spirit world, because the spirit world is not visible, right?
Yeah.
And so he's sort of showing you what the spirit world, how the spirit world operates in this metaphorical land of Pandora. That, I guess that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
It's
more.
also like what like I kind of think of it of like what if we took all these concepts that are very mystical and spiritual here on
Yeah.
Earth and made them not like magic, but like have like a science fiction explanation for
Yeah.
magical beliefs that people have here on Earth. The idea that like Mother Nature is a single consciousness that can be questioned and petitioned.
Hmm.
You know, like how in the first movie Jake Sully like says what can only be described as a prayer to Awa, and Awa listens to his petition and grants his prayer. But it's not magical or mystical because the explanation is like this science fiction technobabble about the entire world being a brain
Yeah.
and all the different animals being able to plug into the giant planet brain. In this movie, they even describe it as like an immune response.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, so like I think it is cool that he's taking all these like religious things and creating a new planet where they have like sci-fi explanations.
Hmm. Yeah, and it what's interesting about it is that it's a complete mixture of sci-fi, yeah, sci-fi and spiritual, which
Yeah.
is seems like a weird mixture, but if you watch sci-fi movies, a lot of them actually get into that realm, you
Well, yeah. So
know?
like Star Wars did that too, where
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and
And
actually
The
actually
Matrix.
as the series progressed, like at first it was just like the Force was just like Jedi was just a religion in the original trilogy, and then famously in the prequels, the sci-fi explanation gets brought out. It's like, oh, there's you know conscious creatures have these things called midichlorians, and you can use these like I don't know like these creatures that live in your body to affect the world outside you.
Hmm.
So I was yeah. So like there is kind of like a grand tradition of having magic in your sci-fi setting and then just explaining it away with some kind of mechanistic explanation.
Yeah. It might be a dude way of Trojan horsing it into, because if you describe like new age stuff to guys, they're like, "Ooh, dude, that sounds stupid to me." That you know,
Yeah,
um but or you sound like a chick, dude. But if you like just Trojan horse it into this science fiction sort of mechanical gun military context, men will be more receptive to it. And that's something that
yeah,
we've talked about before too, is James Cameron is so brilliant at making movies for all people. And the biggest demographic that you have to please both of is men and women. Because if only men see your movie, that's half. That's not enough. You're not going to make four 400 billion or $400 million back with that. You have to
yeah,
get both people to see your movie. So it's like in the Titanic, you had this cool disaster scene in the back half, and you had this cute love story in the first half. So everyone come see the movie.
yeah. Like all the dudes in the audience are crying as the band
Yeah.
plays their last song. The way that the series that this movie pushes the series forward is the hybridization between humans and Pandora becomes much stronger.
Yeah.
Like it was like we were getting a little bit of that in the first movie where like they had the avatars and like they were learning how to be like Navi and the Navi were learning more about humans like they learned English and stuff. But in this movie like the hybridization is in full swing. Like you have Quaritch being almost doing like a a very similar thing that Jake Sully did last movie, where he's a human who's like learning the ways of the Na'vi. You have Spider, who is a true native of Pandora, despite being a human.
Hmm.
He runs around in the wilderness that, like in the first movie, going out into the wilderness as a squad of Marines was considered insanely dangerous. And this is like a teenager just running around almost naked,
Yeah.
feeling completely invincible.
Yeah.
Because, like, which you could say undercuts the danger of Pandora that was established in the last movie, but
Well, he's
he
under
he
the
does,
protection of the Sully clan.
yeah, but he's like by himself, like running around in the woods, like, oh, go off and find the village, you know.
Yeah. Well, that is a
Um,
good point because externally the Colonel is Avatar, but internally,
he doesn't belong.
well, internally he's human. He is the same
Yeah,
exact dude he was before. He hasn't changed. And then externally, his son, Spider, is ridiculously kind of almost delusionally human. He walks around like, like have you ever seen those videos of like a bunch of a cat with a bunch of dogs and the cat just looks acts like a dog.
yeah,
Um so that's how he walks around. He's just so hideously out of place with his mask on and with his fake stripes that he painted on
yeah,
but internally he is 100% Navi. He understands their way of living so much more than humanity.
yeah. And like even like the human technology is like starting to become hybridized.
Hmm.
Like all of the like at the very beginning of the movie, like they're like in the first movie, like all of the machines that the humans rode around on just look like machines. In this movie, like there's these little construction robots that look like spiders that are like crawling around and look very animalistic. Like all
Oh,
of the
and the crab things when they were killing the
yeah,
whales.
yeah, the like the like those crab shaped vessels that look just like crabs. And then like the little submarines that the people ride around look like dolphins, you know.
Yeah.
So the humans are becoming even like the sky people faction of humans are becoming more adapted and learning from the planet and becoming more in tune with it.
Well, and it's like and they're learning more about the properties of the planet too. It reminds me of like the Spanish in South America or whatever, where they're like cutting into a rubber tree and they're like, "Huh, well, we could use this."
Yeah.
Um and they have that I love that character, the Flight of the Concords guy that's like the scientist on the ship that
Hmm.
yeah. So they're humans are actively learning about the Navi planet and they're kind of like this is a bit better than what we got.
Like if they're not stopped and kicked off the planet, they're probably gonna be able to comfortably exist on Pandora.
Yeah. Like if they were cut off from Earth, which like how is Earth that affording these like shipments through galaxies
Yeah,
of
so I was not gonna mention
okay.
like what a logistical nightmare this Pandora expedition seems to be.
Yeah.
Like if I
Well, I
own
guess
stock, if I own stock and not Wayland Yutani, I would be very mad.
we have two stock options, Wayland Yutani and not Wayland Yutani.
Yeah.
Well, I guess one explanation is like they're selling those vials of the whale brain
Yeah, he's like
juice.
this. Yeah, well, he picks up the vial and he's like, "This is $80 million." I'm like, God, how expensive must it be? Like $80 million feels like a drop in the bucket.
I know
Like,
it did. It's like that's like one third of what the movie costed.
yeah, yeah, and like someone would, if that vial like stopped aging for 50 years, someone would spend 500 million on it.
Oh,
You know,
complete
just
easily.
like you can just say a bigger number and it becomes more believable. Like, why don't you do that? He's like like this like they flew these spaceships across the the universe to set up this colony, and the guy was saying that like, oh, this is the thing that's funding the whole colony. I don't know why you needed to say that. And then gave an extremely low number for what the amount of money that he's making. Like what an insane unforced error to make in the
Yeah.
script.
Well,
uh
yeah, whoever's running the financials of Not Wayland Yutani should be fired completely.
yeah. And
How much do you think this should be? I don't know. 80 million.
at least with the unobtainium, which the unobtainium could have just been the incentive
Yeah.
for this movie too. Like, it's still there on the planet.
Well, maybe they're
Like,
making money off that in a different realm.
a lot of those aren't like real complaints. I think it's just kind of funny to
Yeah.
imagine like if this is a real company and like what like how their behavior would line up to that. And on that same note, I would like to talk about Quaritch a little bit,
Uh-huh.
the Colonel,
The Colonel.
um, and how like he's supposed to be the big bad of the entire series, I think. Like, he's gonna continue being the main antagonist to Jake Sully. He doesn't have a good track record. He's kind of failed so many times that he seems a little toothless at this point. It's pretty rough at the end of this movie. At the end of the last movie, like when he dies, like his ace in the hole, which is like the Marine Avatar, like that he advocated so hard for, like turns on him and ends up defeating all of his plans. He gets the entire on planet operation gets destroyed and sent home under his command. In this movie, like he's given so many resources. He's given a squad of literal super soldiers, like this incredible ship that is apparently bankrolling the entire operation at this
Yeah.
point. And then what he does is he gets his squad of super soldiers killed. He gets the ship blown up.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the hits just keep coming. Like, he's just well, he's as a villain, he feels very he does not feel as threatening as he should. And I feel like so much of like his menace is from the acting. Like that
Yeah.
like
He is a
I
good
feel like that's
actor. Well, and
yeah,
he
I feel
got
like I
saved
feel
by a
like
little
that's
boy.
yeah, like Spider, who's kind of like almost a joke character,
Yeah.
is the one who saves him. So yeah, like
Um,
that's all I have to say about Quaritch.
well, the so the other thing about this movie that I found just completely I just didn't get it was why is the entire military so the whole thing in the first movie was get the unobtainium
Yeah,
and they got it basically. We can assume because the tree people are hiding in
the
in
floating
the
rocks.
floating rock area. Why did the entire thing turn into kill Jake Sully? Like that was the entire mission of the movie. Like the whale brain juice wasn't really even part of it.
Yeah, like they had like they had a whaling ship and a bunch of whalers,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, we this is an asset that we can use to get Jake to draw out Jake Sully. We'll just kill a bunch of whales and they'll draw him out of hiding.
Yeah. So it's weirdly personalized to Jake and why if you were to be charitable, why is that?
I think the most charitable aspect of it is that they're viewing him as a kind of like a kind of Tecumseh figure, like a person who can act as a focal point that leads the tribes against them.
A
uh,
uniter.
a uniter, and then also like his knowledge of
Oh yeah.
their technology and their tactics, and his, I guess, incredible skill as a squad leader, which is new, like is causing problems for them. I I I it's believable that they really want to kill Jake Sully. And kind of like the way that the way they sell that is during that train robbery scene in the
Yeah.
beginning, where Jake Sully knocks over this train, steals all of their guns and rockets and stuff, and now the Na'vi have a bunch of guns and rockets that they know how to use because of Jake.
Yeah.
They at least go through some effort to sell the notion that Jake Sully is, as an individual, a problem for
Yeah.
the invasion. I don't know how him leaving the mountains protects the tribe. That
Well, I mean, if that
what
would, if like I, that made sense to me is like if the whole, like they don't care about the tribe, they just care about getting
about
Jake.
Jake?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
So
guess so.
they wouldn't go after the tribe.
It really feels like we're kind of going through the same motions as the last movie.
Hmm.
Also, like oh, I have to learn the ways of this tribe, and I have to tame this new kind of beast and learn their language, because then now there's an underwater sign language that they have to learn. Like Jake Sully's already married, but now one of his kids is having a fling with the new chief's daughter. Like it's even the small details are being repeated in a way that's kind of,
Well, yeah, they were just the dragons were just sea dragons.
yeah. Now yeah, like they even have like the same shaped mouth. They have the same face as the flying dragons. Just these ones can swim.
Yeah.
And then also, like at the exact same time that like that Jake is relearning how to be a Navi, Quaritch is also learning how to be a Navi and going through Jake's journey again. Like
Well,
it's
I mean, that's why sequels are so incredibly difficult because you have to, and if anyone can do a sequel, it's James Cameron because he's like the guy that they give sequels to.
yeah,
Um,
he might be better off making sequels to other people's movies.
well, T2 was a great movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's the point of Jake going? And because kind of that's really the underlying point of the movie to continue on. Now we're in like a big 4 or 5 movie series. So
Yeah, like
this
he's
movie, what about this movie is sort of moving along? That was what I was thinking the whole time. What about this movie is like moving along the whole big story? You know,
so
what are we learning
that's
from this movie?
that's why like the to me like the biggest way this movie moves the series forward is that hybridization.
Yeah, that's
Like
totally true.
so I think like the humans are learning more about Pandora, and the Navi are learning more about the humans, and like they're sort of like having this like almost convergent adaptation where they're like moving towards each other.
Yeah.
Uh
Although the Na'vi aren't really well, you're right. Yeah, they are. The Forest Na'vi are like learning how to shoot guns and do military
like
tactics and stuff. Yeah, it's
yeah.
true. I forgot about
Um
that.
yeah, like like that would have hit a lot better if we saw more of the Forest Navi.
I think we saw enough
We saw
of.
well, no, I think like at to the, like something would have been subtracted from the movie to get more of anything else.
Well,
In fact, if you took this movie and only subtracted, I think it would be a better movie.
that is kind of what I thought too. Was the well, I mean, and maybe the humans will hybridize with the Na'vi so much they'll actually realize that the machines and stuff are not as good and that the Na'vi way is better.
Yeah, and the avatars themselves, and apparently the progeny of the avatars are true half breeds.
Hmm.
They made such a huge deal about them having 5 fingers.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
and then aren't we also hybridizing though? the sea people with Navi,
with the Forest Navi.
the forest Navi. Yeah.
Kind of like I think like if Jake has a superpower,
Yeah.
it's that he's a an empty vessel waiting to be filled.
Yeah.
Like he shows up and becomes immediately humble. And the cool thing is that Neytiri, the wife, kind of doesn't. In the final battle, like Jake is on the flying drag or the sea dragon, and she's still on her flying dragon, like with
Oh, interesting.
like holding her father's bow.
Well,
Like she's like,
that's the downside of the Navi
yeah, so
is
like that's cool that like Jake and Jake's kids, who apparently inherited this humility and willingness to learn, they all learn the ways of this new tribe, and Neytiri doesn't. Like she's just
mhm.
like, no, I am a forest Navi, and that's what I am.
And they're also kind of racist against each other.
Yeah.
Um, well, and we're pretty negative on humanity here, but I think that is kind of why humans take over everywhere is that we're unbelievably adaptable. And that's what
Mm.
that's what you were saying about like the technology that we're using on Pandora. Yeah, we're adapting so fast and so well to the new environment. Yeah, that's a super positive trait of humanity.
There's like there's a little moment that I would like to just bring up briefly.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna be too much of a discussion. When the sky people come back, the way Jake describes it is like a new star appeared in the sky,
Hmm.
and the idea of like a bad star like heralding doom is very mythological.
How so?
Well, people view the sky as a source of portents,
Yeah.
you know, and even the word disaster means bad star.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
the first line of Romeo and Juliet is that they're star crossed. They have bad stars.
Hmm.
So the idea of there being like an evil star that will create suffering is kind of this really mythological
Yeah.
concept.
And it's sort of like in the whole Avatar way, it's this mythological concept, but realized, manifested in the
Yeah,
spaceship,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's the bad star is a spaceship
full of
you know
like
coming
full of like
to
evil
burn the
Navi.
forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's whales in this movie. Um,
Hmm.
you wouldn't know it from listening to the last 2 hours, but there's whales in this movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I
the whales are kind of interesting. I have a few thoughts on the whales. I
Yeah,
mean, the whales are a huge part of the movie.
yeah. The whales are the primary new feature of the movie. Like it's
Hmm.
that's why I was joking earlier with there's whales in this movie.
Yeah.
uh,
But they're not just like new feature added. They're like also new concepts too.
of like a creature of peace in
Yes.
this war zone of a planet.
Yeah, they're this creature of peace and like they actually are like religiously like they said in the movie like their religion is peace. So much so that like
Like
um
even self defense is like forbidden.
yeah, even self-defense is forbidden. Great way to put that. Yeah. And
Which do you think I is the movie supporting that mindset, or like
absolutely
because
not.
yeah, because
Yeah,
like
that was
the one whale that was willing to do combat is kind of the hero of the whales.
yeah.
I think we're supposed to want the whales to give up their peaceful ways and start becoming killer whales,
Yeah. Well, that's
like like Unako or whatever his name was.
was that the whale?
That was the whale. He had a name.
Okay. Try not to say the whale names because I did not remember any of them.
okay, so we
I
have the
didn't.
killer whale, and
Yeah,
then we have the other whales.
yeah. And the whales themselves had names, and I immediately forgot what they what the name of the whales were. But they were
I mean,
the
do you know the names of Sully's children? Can you name two of them? There's
Neytiri.
Kiri.
What? Yeah,
Oh no, no,
Kiri.
Neytiri is the wife.
Oh yeah, it was something like that, like Natalo or something. I don't know.
Yes. So like when the names are not coming
Yeah.
through.
Okay, so the whales,
Oh yeah, the whales. Like the
the it seems like even the Na'vi were not entirely peaceful before the humans arrived. Like we mentioned, like they're kind of racist against each other. Um, they're kind of
very
separated their own realms. They had bows and arrows and spears and stuff, you know.
yeah,
So,
like there's definitely a concept of like the word warrior is used a lot in the first movie.
hmm
And warrior differentiated from hunter. So these people go to
yeah,
war.
yeah, yeah, and
Like they're not just hunting animals, they're killing each other.
yeah. I felt like the Na'vi sort of looked at the whales like they looked up to the whales, like in a
Like
spiritual
yeah,
sense.
like we haven't been able to give up violence, but the whales they figured it out.
They figured it out, yeah. And they told the story of how their religion began, the whale religion, such a reverent way of like maybe one day we could do that too. They've shown that it can be done.
Yeah. Like obviously the I am 100% certain that in a future movie a pod of whales is going to show up and do some violence.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed to happen.
Well, one of the coolest moments of this movie was when the heretic whale
Yeah.
jumped onto the ship and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, like that was basically like the equivalent moment of when in the first movie like all of the
hmm
animals like come out of the forest
hmm
and start beating up the humans.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're seeing like the tables turned on the whaling ship that really can only truly function because of the whales having their like non-conflict religion.
I want there to be peace on Earth, right?
Yeah.
And I think most people want that. All you need is one culture to be like, all these people are peaceful. We could roll over them all and just rule the world and enslave
Yeah.
all of them. It just takes one bad culture, and then the whole thing is shot.
Yeah. It's why like the whole war is bad thing is so trite is
hmm
because everyone knows war is bad,
Yeah.
but we haven't figured out a way to like stop everybody from doing it. And if one person does it, then we all have to kind of get dragged down with them.
Yeah. Then we all have to do it. Yeah. And it's so sad. I think like in the meta narrative of the movie, which is so mythological, having a meta narrative of the series. This movie to me, it represented two things. The first one was actually parenthood.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. There's a huge aspect of that.
but we could talk about that later. Let's talk about that
Yeah,
later.
like that was actually the closest I actually came to having a quote was a father protects.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a good quote. You should have done that. But the other big meta narrative was we can't be peaceful. We can't just sit there and let this happen. We have to actually turn and fight.
Hmm.
And so that's setting up for because he's sort of James Cameron's sort of saying like, well, why don't they just run away or something? Or why can't the Na'vi just like go somewhere else and get pushed, push themselves somewhere else and let the people have the unobtainium, you know, just let them have what they want to come here for. No, the people are just going to take and take and take until everything is used up and gone, and all
Yeah.
the Na'vi are killed. Like that's what you're sort of supposed to realize in this movie is
Yeah, the whales when they decided not to fight back just made themselves a target.
exactly. Yeah, and that the whales were a great lesson in that concept of like it's great to be peaceful. It's honorable to be peaceful. You can even
Mhm.
die as a martyr and have everyone else like be like that person died for a good cause. But at a certain point, you're going to have to turn and fight, or else you're just going to get exterminated and annihilated.
Well, and like sort of like going back on the whole parenthood thing, like the whale that we see die is a mother with a calf,
I know. Yeah,
and by choosing not to fight back, like she almost chose to orphan her child.
exactly. Yeah. There's very real reasons to go to war. And, I can tell like James Cameron is a guy that's like very against any violence just from the themes of his movies. Even he has is like having to grapple in this movie with, okay, we can't just be peaceful.
Yeah.
There are consequences to that. Yeah. And like the Na'vi have something that they want to protect, they have like Awa that they're trying to protect.
Oh yeah, yeah. They make a huge deal of the whales like being quite possibly the most intelligent life on the planet. They like when they come across the corpse of the whale mother, the chief or the shaman of the clan is like, oh, she was a great composer of songs.
Yeah. What a
Like which
loss.
yeah, like what a sad way to describe
Tragic.
what tragic way to describe this being that just died. Like, oh, it wasn't they weren't a great warrior or even like a nice person. It was like, oh, like we lost a maker of music,
Hmm.
in this tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Great point.
We've got some historical notes or some mythological notes from the killer whale, with like the pulling of the harpoon out. There's kind of like an Androcles in the lion kind of thing of like pulling the thorn out of the lion's paw.
I'm not terribly familiar with that story.
Neither am I. I know like three sentences worth of the story of like guy was thrown to the lions, lion was angry, he pulled the thorn out of the lion's paw, and then the lion sort of became his, I think, either friend or protector or something.
Is that in the Bible?
I
Or
don't know.
what is that just
That,
is that a Greek myth?
that would be great. Let me look at that. Roman slave escaping cruel master. Uh,
Oh, it's a
first
Roman story.
first recorded in second story AD, second century AD. Okay, so it wasn't like a mythological thing. It was just like a story that someone wrote, like as a
Mm.
like Homer. Okay,
Mm.
so it's just a tale. And then it's like I don't think I got super strong Jonah and the whale vibes, but of like being swallowed by a whale and having a religious experience is kind of
Oh
Jonah
yeah.
e.
True. The whale opened its mouth and then he went
Hmm.
inside and then all the sea people. This is again like the Sully clan showing like they can be more sea people than the sea people. Where the sea people like saw him go in the whale and they're like, "What the
Well,
heck?"
he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they knew that whale too was like he was like an evil whale, the more warlike of the Sully's children, hooked in because of course there was a hook in access point Ethernet cable to the whale's memories
yeah.
inside the
Okay,
whale.
but like that's very forgivable because like every one of these animals has to have like a neuro interface thing.
Yeah. So he so he did that And then through that he saw, see, that was not very clear to me what was being shown. Like that was one of the few places in a movie where I was actually pretty confused.
It seemed like it was like the whale was just showing him the memory of the whalers coming by and killing a bunch of whales.
Yeah, but what the kid brought back from that was that the whale wasn't a killer.
No, the whale was a killer, but the whale like fought. The whale
Or the whale, yeah.
the whale convinced his pod to go and fight the humans.
Okay, that's what I thought happened. So he was like a
Yeah, yeah,
rebel leader,
yeah. Like he convinced them to become warriors, and then they all died.
and then the
And
rest of the whale population was like, this guy is not good.
well, yeah, this guy got his entire family killed. Because of his decision to go against our teachings. This just reinforces our
Mm,
teachings
yeah. And
and makes him even worse.
yeah, he becomes a heretic.
Yeah.
That kind of yeah, that kind of proves why violence is wrong.
Until like later in the movie when we prove that violence is great. I do kind of like there's a real cost to Jake for his constant war because like in at the start of the movie it's like almost a joke. Like it's a game to the kids
Hmm.
where they're like, "Oh, I want to be a great warrior, and I'm gonna jump down and disobey orders and put other people and myself in danger." And then like, haha, I got away with it. Nothing bad happened. And then later on in the movie, the kid dies. So there is this like cost to this ongoing conflict that is
Yeah, but he was a
extremely
boring kid.
meaningful. Yeah, he was boring.
Jake Sully was sort of like, yeah, glad it was him. No,
he's,
uh,
Jake Sully was like, "Oh no,
what's his name?
Tarland. I'm so sad that he's gone."
I'm so sad. Oh no, Awa, why did you do this? Why did please take him? Blah 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 blah. Should we have a funeral? I guess.
Uh, but not Saturday. I've got plans Saturday.
Yeah. Me and the boys have a dragon ride planned. We're going out on dragons. Oh, what I also noticed about the whale too that connects to that is the whale. So there's this outcast whale, basically. He's outcast from his whale people.
Hmm.
And who does that remind you of?
Probably Jake,
Yeah.
where
So it,
he leaves his people to engage in war, and then finds companionship among the Na'vi, which I like. It's not shown like what Killer Whale does after the movie's over, but it's kind of I kind of assume that he's hangs out with the Na'vi tribe and helps them fight the Sky People if they show up again.
yeah.
It seems reasonable he would that Killer Whale would remain sort of attached to that tribe
Yeah, of Navi, not other
of Na'vi.
whales.
Yeah,
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 which is interesting. Like there's so many, there's so many themes that are like coming together. And again, this movie, like the last movie, had an insane amount of gigantic themes in it.
yeah,
But there was so
yeah,
now we have like three or four, if you count Jake being a human, different cultures coming together to repel the Sky People.
yeah. Well, I think that they're like humans as sort of allies of Pandora has been a thing since the first movie, where
Hmm.
because all the scientists stay on the planet. Like what's his face scientist even like shows up a few times in this movie and helps out.
Yeah, which was not needed. Oh, this was an interesting moment. So during the battle at the end, I think it was the more violent brother. He took one of the machine guns from the ground
Hmm.
and killed a human with it. And there was like a very brief moment where he was like, "Okay, now I'm a killer. Like, we went to war, but now I'm a killer." You know,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a Batman type kill either. It was like a direct, "I shot you with a weapon."
Mm.
And then just after that, they escaped, and his brother got shot. They go on the island. The brother that shot the weapon literally had blood on his hands.
Yeah.
They had like a really lingering shot of him with blood on his hands.
Yeah, because like he had this moment of opting in to war, and then
Yes,
the consequences hit immediately.
immediately. Yeah,
Like this, like that, the like yeah, like earlier I was saying, like they're treating combat like it's a game, and like I want to be a part of this, and
yeah,
then now they're like experiencing the consequences of war. Like, the war, no, war's actually pretty bad. You don't want to be a part of this. This is
yeah. And it makes you realize like why these people, all the outcasts, are outcasts because they're
mm,
advocating for war. And
uh,
that's what makes them outcasts.
well, I think there's only one outcast. Oh yeah, well yeah, only one left alive, I guess.
Well, Jake had been outcasted twice.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's the whale outcast, and I feel like that was the point of the whale, was like sort of a foil for Jake. Was like they were kind of going through it together. Um,
Yeah, like I think the whale is kind of there to like demonstrate both like the cost and necessity of war. Like
mhm.
that's it's awful and terrible and it kills people and injures people, but you kind of need to do it sometimes because it's that necessary.
Yeah, to preserve peace. Yeah,
Mm.
so it's an irony that those so-called intelligent whales don't get. It was good that James Cameron put that in there because he is making this war rallying cry, but he is also, you know,
You see, yeah, like this is the movie where he takes a step back and says like, "Hey, we're all super stoked about the Na'vi killing humans and defending their land and being great warriors. But let's take a step back in this movie and really sort of forward the notion that war is hell
hmm
and any solution that involves no war is probably a superior solution.
yeah. Yeah, the whole goal isn't to become the humans and just be this warlike culture. It's to get back to a place of peace.
Although the next movie
Yeah.
um, is
It's called like
apparently about
Fire and Ash or
it's
something.
it's it's yeah, and I read like a little blurb on it. And apparently it follows a more warlike tribe of Na'vi.
Oh, there you go. Okay, like the Apache
Yeah,
Navi.
so this I'm a little interested. Like this one is very in keeping with its chosen element. Like very go with the flow, very
hmm
like we're learning this new thing. We want peace. Like there's kind of like kind of like a peaceful and healing kind of vibe to water as an element. And I think that in the next movie we're going to get a little bit more Ura
Yeah.
kind of Navi.
Well, let's talk about that too. The idea of water. Like that was one of the things I was thinking about while I was watching the movie because they do explain like water connects everything.
Yeah,
Um
it's almost like this prayer that they say of like, yo, is to know the way of water is to X, Y, and Z. I wish I wrote that one down.
all I wrote down of that was the way of water has no beginning and no end. That's how the prayer begins.
Okay, yeah.
And it sort of just is furthering the theme of AWA. Like they're kind of talking about
Yeah,
their version of AWA.
you get this sense that the Na'vi will never technologically advance because they're at a perfect place where they exist in harmony with their environment and like you don't like there's no beginning and no end. Like it's just like this is we have found perfection and we're going to be living like this forever. And then the humans show up and start causing problems.
That was kind of goes into the point that I was making a little bit about the whole prayer thing was, the sea people, and it's funny they called them sea peoples because the sea peoples were the ones responsible for the Bronze Age collapse. We're kind of on their side, and they're like this evil boogeyman in history, you
Yeah.
know, and then we're like, so. But all these sea people are on different islands, and they're all sort of like isolationist, and they only care about their own tribe on their own island, and kind of, this is like an interpretation of what the way of water is to connect all of these different
Mhm.
islands, right? And just to connect all these, and even the different, like we were saying earlier, like the tigers and the whales and all these different even species of the
Mhm.
planet, all to repel evil, basically. I think the main complaint we had about this movie before this was that
It isn't for the main story.
yeah, but in a way, emotionally, it actually kind of does. It kind of sets up maybe the rest of allows us to be emotionally prepared for the rest of the series, right?
Yeah. And I have a question for you. Clearly, James Cameron is going for a like earth, wind, water, and fire
Yeah.
theme to his tetralogy.
Is it
Uh,
is it four or five?
well, if it's five, then it ruins what I'm about to say. So let's
Oh,
just pretend
okay.
it's four. Um, so we have this is the water movie. We have
Yeah.
the fire movie
Next.
next. Whatever the fourth movie is dependent on what the first movie is.
I would say not necessarily, because I had this exact same thought.
So like because the first movie could be the Earth movie or the Wind movie
Hmm.
because like these are the Na'vi that focus heavily on their flying creatures. They make such a huge deal of the ritual of capturing their dragon and flying it around.
Hmm.
They live in these like floating mountains that hover above hover in the sky.
But at the same time, their symbol is the tree.
Their symbol is the tree. They're fighting over the earth, like
Hmm.
the unobtainium, which was so important last movie and is now just fully absent. Uh,
It's not even once mentioned, I don't think.
yeah. So like they're fighting over this mineral.
That's deep within the earth.
It's
Yeah.
deep within the earth. They're fighting in these like they call it like the floating islands. They call the Hallelujah Mountains. So like so like even though they're in the sky, they're like earth and rock and mountain, like up there in
Yeah.
the sky.
Well,
So like so if you were to pick an element for the first movie, like which one would you say it is?
I would say it would probably be wind, but I also, if there is a five movie trilogy or five movie trilogy,
Then
um,
that's just the first one. Like yeah, it's
it's the prelude, and then you get
yeah.
all the elements. Yeah, so
Okay, keep going.
it's like the fifth element, I guess.
Is love? Yeah. The first movie is where he learns to love Pandora.
Yeah, exactly.
The next movie being the fire movie. If you remember, like basically the entire last 30 minutes of this movie, despite it taking place on the ocean, everything's on fire.
Yeah.
Like it's fire here, fire there, fire in the background, fire in every direction. So I wonder if that was like an intentional call out of like we're being eased into the fire movie by having the entire last 30 minutes of this movie fire in
Well,
the
yeah,
backdrop of
because
basically every scene.
let me ask you, what are the symbols for, like, what does water mean? What does fire mean? What does air and earth mean? Like, what do they
Uh
symbolize? Because fire, obviously, I think we both know it's war.
well, I would actually say that like I I feel that fire is passion and creation
Hmm.
and
Prometheus.
yeah, like of
Ooh, I have a
creation and
Prometheus.
industry
Yeah.
and of this kind of like hunger to advance and you know possibly
Spread.
spread and maybe like consume and leave ash in your wake. So like this almost like very human in this setting, like very sky people-ish desire to take and create and build and maybe leave destruction behind you.
Hmm.
Water, I would say, is like very communal, like connective, soothing, like
Peaceful.
healing,
Yeah.
peaceful.
Yeah, and then earth and wind. I don't even know. Like
Yeah,
earth is
like
grounded. I don't know. I don't do like astrology and stuff, so
the four humors theory of disease. Like there's a personality type attached to each one of the four elements.
mm. And I guess wind to me, wind should be the last one because to me, wind is sort of spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wind is
wind
like,
is like almost like detached, like
hmm
sort of more concerned with spiritual matters than what's happening on Earth.
hmm yeah,
And like yeah, Earth probably more like defensive. I don't know, like you're
dug
like
in.
this is yeah, like I'm this is my home. I'm gonna stay here
Yeah,
and not move.
yeah, that makes sense to me. Oh, okay. Here's another thing about. So here's one of the things we just need to talk about is Kiri being immaculately conceived.
Yeah, which we have it's like talking about the diamond in Titanic. Like we
Yeah,
have to
which
talk about it.
I actually
It's
regret talking so much about that. And you told me during the episode that I would. And it was true. When I was editing it, I was like, okay, I'm still talking about this.
yeah, it's
Um
yeah, like Kiri is the is the character that reminds me of the phrase I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
That's funny. I completely disagree with that, but yeah.
Well, no,
Um
like that mentality like
yeah, no,
shines
and
forward. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man, and oh man, there were some clunkers in this. Like when they were in like the science place at the beginning, they were talking about Jake solely going hard on them and stuff, and like he doesn't let us do anything or whatever. And then the feral kid goes, "Well, it must be nice having a dad or knowing who your dad is." And then they all sort of look at him sullen.
Oh yeah. Oh no, no, he said like sometimes it's not a good thing to know who your dad
Oh
is.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just everything was bad about that. The line was bad, the delivery of the line was bad.
Yeah,
The fact
I
that they
think
stopped
like
the whole movie to
yeah, like the like that kid I think is he's the only person the only character who's like acting performance I was like
Yeah, but I agree. I was not a huge and I don't yeah.
maybe you would know this better than I do, but like to me whenever I see bad acting like it's I always just blame the director. Uh
Yeah.
maybe
You know who I actually
maybe some actors are just undirectable. Like you would obviously know better than me, but
Oh, I know. I
okay.
know. Yeah, it's just they just don't care. Like a lot of times it's just they don't care.
Okay.
Like and so the difference between like I call it reading in class. So they're like, when the teacher calls on you to read in class, you like
Yeah.
read it like a monotone robot. You just read the words. You don't while you're reading, you don't try to understand what the words are saying.
Hmm.
And that's what some actors do. They just do reading in class. And if you ask them like, "What did you just say?" They'll be like, "I don't know." They're like, "Well, what was like the general like generally what was that about? And they were like, I don't know. I just said the words. I just memorized the words. And it's like, yeah. The question is, who was the father? And it was asked in the movie.
Symbolism is so heavy-handed that there's never a question in the audience's mind that Kiri was immaculately conceived.
Yeah, that there was even a father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's she is the amalgam consciousness of Sigourney Weaver and Awa,
Yes,
and
that's exactly right.
that is exactly who she is, and it's there's never any doubt she is the magic chosen child that can control the animals by waving her hands around.
Or she can control the plants
Oh
too.
yeah, the plants too, but the plants are also like plugged into the super brain.
Yeah. Yeah. There are people who think like every form of life is consciousness on
Yeah,
Earth.
and you know who what I think of those people, so we don't need to we
I
can
think
move
it's,
on.
yeah, I think that's interesting though. The Immaculate Conception of Kiri by two women kind of makes my point a little bit that this is sort
Yeah,
of a mother goddess. He's making some kind of a mother goddess point here.
yeah, like it's like the femininity of AY is kind of imposed on it from the outside. Like it's just an organism that organizes and defends itself, and the Navi have coded it as female.
Well, it's the women that are always the
The
shamans.
shamans, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe like I wouldn't be surprised if Awa is somehow views itself as female in a way that makes it female. I don't know.
I think that
It's it
that is, yeah. But,
it's
why do here's a good question. Why do we code God as male? I would say for like a
well.
similar reason.
So here's and this part we can cut out if you want, but
Well, I am curious about
like
your
Yahweh was a god amongst a plurality of gods, and there was like female gods. There was Juno. There were other male gods. There was Baal.
hmm
You know, there's and oh, we are this tribe, and our god is Yahweh, and he's a dude for I don't know, like whatever reason.
Well, why
And
did
then
Yahweh win and not a female?
like I don't know why Christianity won. I don't know. But like the idea of like did you of there being like a king of the gods being a sky god.
hmm
Like the sky god is always male, and like the earth god is usually female,
hmm
like
Yeah.
Gaia, Mother Earth, that kind of thing. Jupiter, Thor, Odin. You're
Yeah.
I don't know why the sky is male and the earth is female. I guess the earth is like growing and nurturing and creating things, and the sky is just kind of this.
Well, it causes like floods and thunder and stuff
Yeah,
and like roars. And the women also like, you come out of a woman when you're born and then you go back into the earth when you die. Sort of like a reverse womb.
but as it relates to this movie, Mother Earth is like Earth is always female, like the ground and the soil and the growing of things. Those kinds of gods on Earth have always been or are typically female.
hmm
So when James Cameron, a human who grew up on Earth, wanted
Allegedly.
to allegedly, we, where's the birth certificate, James?
Yeah.
Like when he was drawing from human history to make his Earth god, the fact
Mm.
that he made it an Earth goddess is very unsurprising.
But so Nick, I have a lot of huge concepts still to talk about. So I think I just want to speed through some of them.
We actually was that true?
Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah,
go.
actually, yeah.
This is like a one off thing. the whole thing of the whale serum
Yes, that was
stopping
one of
human
them.
aging.
Yes,
It's humans are like stealing the vitality of Pandora, I think is the the gist of that. Like Pandora is so beautiful and everlasting and full of life, and humans are just jamming
extracting.
yeah, just jamming a drill through Pandora's heart palate and extracting its life essence.
Yeah, yeah, and it kind of brings home that colonization theme
Hmm.
of like yeah, and like I was saying, like the rubber tree and stuff. It's just like it's this beautiful magical thing to the native people, but to us, it's like oh, we could use that for our purposes. It's not even to
Yeah, we
help
could.
Pandora,
Yeah,
their lives on
we
Pandora.
yeah we're gonna rip this out of the earth or out of this whale's brain and take it home and use it to do like cool stuff on Earth.
Or just give it to rich people so they could live forever. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the worst. And, is immortality also not just like the most materialistic endpoint? You
I
know?
would say it's yeah like and like selfish. Like it's just the height of selfishness is like deciding like you know what I should live forever.
Yeah. And it's like the opposite of of everything that we like, in the Western world, we sort of cherish these figures, Socrates, Julius Caesar,
Hmm.
Jesus. They all died for something. And to kill something else to live forever is just like the most
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
like it's like that's literally like the first Harry Potter book.
know.
Like
In what
that this is
way?
the guy who is harboring Voldemort's soul was killing unicorns and drinking their blood to continue his like unnatural life.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was just in the books, right?
Yeah, I think it was just in the books.
Yeah,
So it's like
exactly. Yeah,
it's a cartoonishly villainous thing to do is to like find the most beautiful innocent creature you can possibly find and then kill it and use its life to extend your own.
it goes against like the fundamental moral structure, which is to die for something sacred. Yeah, it's the opposite of that.
Hmm.
It's killing something sacred so that we could live.
Yeah, I would have preferred it if they just like the humans already have a reason to be on Pandora. We're there
Yeah.
to extract we're there to extract mineral resources. Just let that be the
No, well, I like it that it's upping the ante for evilness. They're like, you thought
yeah
you
and
thought the unobtain killing the tree so that they get unobtainium is evil. Well, get a load of this.
yeah, and I guess like it does like progress the notion that like Pandora isn't just a planet that has an unobtainium on it. It's this widespread bounty of things that you can sort of rapaciously take.
Hmm.
Where you show up and you're like, oh well, there's we can rip the unobtainium out of the ground. We can drill this out of the whale's brains. We can use the Navi for slave labor, and like oh, we can use the whole
Yeah.
buffalo.
The world is our oyster. Yeah. It'd be foolish not to, you know?
Yeah, the killer whale is missing a right fin or a left fin.
Hmm.
The whale hunter loses like gets his left arm ripped off.
Oh, nice.
So I think that was like another thing of like James Cameron being very concerned with every combatant on a battlefield having a matched pair.
Hmm.
It's Quaritch
Jake.
and Jake, and then you have Neytiri and and the rest of the squad of avatars that get very unceremoniously and knocked off.
Hmm.
The kids were kind of like paired up against the dolphin submersible things. So like everyone has their own little opponent in the battle, and the whale got to kill its opponent, which was the Australian guy.
It was like an opposite Moby Dick, too, where like that
Oh yeah,
guy was the whale's Moby Dick.
yeah, he was the way yeah, he was the whale's Moby Dick. That's a really fun way of putting it.
So, do you have any thoughts on that scientist guy? I felt like the scientist guy was much more interesting.
I thought he was very uninteresting actually.
Well,
I thought he was an example of like and we talked about this during our very first discussion. of James
Mm.
Cameron being like every military guy is pure evil, and
Oh
every
yeah, that's right.
scientist is pure good. And like at first I thought it was going to be like bucking the trend, like, oh look, an evil scientist, cool.
Hmm.
Like this marine biologist is working with the bad guys to do bad things. And then like later on, he's like, "This is why I drink." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he's secretly good. And he's gonna do a he's gonna turn to the good side later on in the movie."
Well, but he doesn't really. He's
He knows he's like cheering
he's cheering, but he doesn't
when the
help.
no, he doesn't, but like he's he's very clearly on the side of the whale that is in the
Yeah.
process of killing him actually.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. He was on the
like
ship. So like he
yeah.
was like, you know who he reminds me of? Did you ever see Ex Machina?
Uh, yes.
But
Uh,
that guy reminded me a lot of the character in Ex Machina. Because the bad guy in Ex Machina, the Oscar Isaac character,
yeah.
with the AI that he was creating, he knew that it was going to destroy humanity, but he kept doing it anyway. Why? And then he had another quality. He's an alcoholic. Isn't that what
Okay.
alcoholism is? Is it knows
Oh,
it's good, you know you're going to kill yourself doing it, but you continue to do it anyway. And so I think
yeah,
that
I
was like
guess
the
that
main metaphor of that movie is like
is
we
he was like addicted to well because it's his motivation was that this lets him do all of his science stuff.
in this movie in Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like he knows he's destroying the environment that he's trying to study, but he this is the only way he can further his career of being a Pandoran marine biologist.
Well, but you know what's interesting is like what you were saying last episode because I just edited it, so it's very fresh in my mind. But one of the things that we were talking about a little bit was what's the future of the series in for Jake Sully? Like, and you were actually arguing they're just gonna kill all the people on the planet and kick them all out. That's what it's gonna be. And the scientist guy rooting for his own destruction on the boat kind of reflects your thoughts on that a little bit, which is like Jake is actually rooting for humanity to die because it's just so bad. That like just get off of Pandora, go onto your crappy Earth, and just die and go extinct because you suck too much and just leave us
What
alone.
so like the scientists and Spider why is he named Spider? Oh, well, no, no, okay. Seem to be have an existence that's living in partial harmony with Pandora, where they're living on the planet and not causing damage or hurting anyone.
Hmm.
So I think what Jake Sully wants is for there to be like a society of friendly humans living on Pandora, not causing too much harm. Like I think that is going to be the end goal. Like there's going to be some humans, and it's going to be a very small population, and they're going to
Yeah,
be
but
friends
like
of the Navi.
they can't sustain their lives. They need like the oxygen and the all this apparatus to even live.
Yeah, it's like I don't know exactly what the long term logistics of it are, but I don't foresee the movie kicking the good humans off the planet. I
Yeah.
don't foresee that happening at any point in the series.
But the end result though is that humanity goes extinct.
Yeah, like is Earth like that? Like that, I think they say something along the lines of like Earth is dying
They
or something
do.
along those
Yeah.
lines.
I remember that clearly.
Um, like honestly, I don't think that's actually what's happening. I think like Earth is turning into like some kind of metropolis hellscape, like where it's like the whole planet is just big cities and pollution factories and everything's bad and it sucks, but humans are just gonna keep going forever.
Maybe.
Like that's the impression that I got. Like when I think that
The impression I get is that
the Earth is no longer able to sustain life and humans are going to go extinct.
yeah, and this is like them going to Pandora is is like the last lifeline that we have left. But there could be other planets that we're, you know, going to and stuff. But off topic, but do you think James Cameron, while he was writing this, went into his garden and communed with Awa? Like, do you think he has a ponytail? If he has a ponytail, then I,
Every picture I've seen with him has been like pretty short hair.
yeah,
Um,
but have you seen a picture of him from the back?
no,
So we don't
so
know.
he could be a Navi. Yeah,
All right, so there's that point. We'll maybe that will be answered at some point. There were three eclipses in the movie. There were zero eclipses in the last movie, and there were three in
yeah,
this one.
and like I got the sense that an eclipse happens all the time.
Yeah, but that,
Uh,
that didn't happen at all in the last movie.
yeah, I feel like that's just like
It could,
I don't think I don't think that was a choice that was made.
I
Where
know.
like yeah,
I'm just causing trouble.
um, the the cultural background of an eclipse is that it's like this religious experience of this once in a lifetime thing of mystery and mysticism,
Yeah,
and like there definitely is this sense that like the eclipse happens, everything goes dark, the bioluminescence goes off the charts.
yeah, which was
And
cool.
I think the bioluminescence kind of represents Pandora's mystical biology in some way.
Yes, well said. Yeah,
And so yeah, so like the eclipse happens, everything lights up, and it's the spiritual nature becomes more forward.
yeah. So you think it's a good omen?
Yeah, I think the eclipse is like when Awa's willpower becomes more exerts a greater effect on the people and the planet. Like that this is their opportunity to commune with Awa in a more efficient way. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, and that's what the humans don't have a connection with. So it's kind of like taking your, like closing your eyes to use the force.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's what I have written down. I tried to remember, but so the eclipses happened at first when the kids were kidnapped, I think. The other
Yeah.
time was when Kiri had a seizure, and then obviously at the end when they attacked the ship.
Like the Kiri having a seizure made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the way that I just described it. It might just be like the indication that something important's happening.
Oh, well, that's true. I think it all has to do with Kiri because
Oh, because at the very end, Kiri does like uses her magic AWA
yeah,
powers
yeah,
to
the muscle plants.
the glowy things that look a
Yeah.
lot like the seeds of AWA from the first movie that convinced Neytiri to not kill Jake.
Yeah. I need to go back and rewatch it, but I think I think there was something that was happening with Kiri when they got kidnapped too. Like there was like a it was kind of like this subtle evolution of her powers or recognition of her powers. The three eclipses were representing.
Yeah, because she does the thing where she like commands the sea anemone to kill the dolphin submersible thing.
Yeah. But do you remember her doing anything when they were kidnapped? Or I don't even remember if that was the first time that it happened.
Oh, like at the very beginning of the movie when they were still in the
Yeah.
forest.
Like when the kids were all kidnapped.
I remember she was like laying in a field of grass and the grass was breathing
Oh yeah.
like it was like with every one of her breaths like the grass would like part.
Hmm.
I don't think that was happening during the eclipse, but that was kind of like the first indication that she's got these magic powers.
I think what you said about the eclipses feels right. It was just first off, it heightened the experience, and secondly, it sort of made it seem more mystical. Almost like it's almost kind of like, the seeing the star in the sky was a bad omen
Oh,
at
like
first.
so the eclipse is like a good omen.
So the eclipse was like shutting out that star in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the moon is typically female. Like most moon goddesses are goddesses. The eclipse could be
Blocking out
like
the sun.
Awa's feminine power taking hold of the planet.
Hmm. I want to talk about parenthood, Nick.
Okay. So like Jake's primary motivation throughout the entirety of this movie is protecting his family.
Exactly.
The primary motivation of the water Navi chief and head shaman are both to protect the kids.
Hmm.
The only whale that we see die on screen was a parent who dies because she wouldn't leave, like, abandoned the calf.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think
Well, there's one more very important one that you're missing.
oh Quaritch and Spider.
Why do you groan?
It's
Because
just
well,
like
first it's funny because it's your favorite actor and your least favorite actor in the whole
yeah.
movie together.
I guess like Quaritch is kind of learning fatherhood through his interactions with Spider,
Hmm.
where he starts out by like, you can kill the kid. Yeah, I don't care. He's not mine. And
Yeah.
then by the end of the movie, he says that same line, and it's he just can't back it up.
Yeah. He doesn't, nobody believes him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
The audience
I,
doesn't believe him.
yeah. He's like, I don't care. And then like 3 seconds later, he's like, you can have your kid back.
That was so good. Usually those standoff scenes in movies, I hate, but this one I like. This one was done well.
And it needed to be Neytiri.
She would
Very
have
much a
killed him.
Yeah, she's very much a background character in this movie. She's no longer as central to the movie as she was in the last one.
Hmm.
But like none of the kids would have killed Spider. Jake wouldn't have killed Spider.
Yeah.
Neytiri's threat was a true legitimate threat.
Especially because her kid just died. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she really doesn't have any connection to humans either.
Hmm.
Like she doesn't have any human blood in her. I think one of the things too that's interesting is like when you have kids, which neither of us do,
Yeah.
especially males, they get old enough where they start causing violence and they start acting out in really messed up ways, you know, because they're not a baby anymore and they actually start like hurting other kids. And that's just their human nature, you know, and you have to do something about that. And I think that they tackle that in this movie.
Yeah. Kids like are just like little engines for creating problems.
Hmm.
Someone who's not a parent, but who does deal with children on a pretty regular basis. Like they're cute and they're funny and they're very energetic and they've got all these like positive traits, but they're like these like bulls, like bull in a china shop, just progressing through life, causing problems for other people.
Well, like in this movie, those violent tendencies start coming out in his own kids, and he's taking them away from the violence,
Oh
right?
yeah. Like where he understands the cost of war, and to them it's a, it's
To
basically a
like,
game.
or like to like prove your manhood or
Yeah,
masculinity and stuff.
and proving your masculinity becomes so inconsequential in the face of like the death and horror of war.
Well, it's kind of like a microcosm too of like the whole idea of peace versus war in the movie. The thing is, like, if you shelter your kid, he's gonna be so weak and useless that he's just gonna like life is just gonna roll over him, you know? Even though you're
Mm.
trying to make him into a kind person, you need to instill some venom in him. You know what I mean?
Mm. A
You
little
can't
fight
just
back, yeah.
completely isolate. What? What was that?
A little fight back, a little
Yeah,
like yeah.
exactly. And I think Jake was actually being a pretty bad father to his sons.
He wasn't he wasn't coddling them. They were like he was giving them like appropriate battlefield tasks of like get on your dragon and fly around and tell me if you see anything bad, like anything happen. Like
But he was
that was their job in the first like
it
scene of the
was, but
movie.
he got mad at them for going into combat actually.
Yeah, but because like they were supposed to be doing reconnaissance and that gunship caught them by surprise.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
but
like
I feel like on a deeper level as a father, he was trying to coddle them by giving him them that task, you know.
I I have the exact opposite opinion. I thought that he was that these kids were like super young and should still be doing like hunter stuff. Like you still have to like do all the training and bow practice and bushcraft of being a hunter. And then once you're like an adult, you come and do fighting. Like 'cause they were like children. Like they were in human scale like 2 feet shorter than him.
They
Like
were
these
like
were not,
teenagers.
yeah, like preteens, like 12 and 13. So like
Well,
I thought that they were being like pushed into combat crazy early.
they were sort I don't know. I felt like he was sort of keeping them at a distance.
Well, him keeping them safe and like putting some distance between them and the actual combat is definitely the within the text of the movie. He was essentially like that's essentially what his first like discipline lesson was like I gave you an order to stay away from combat, and then you went
Yeah.
into combat.
And then what did he do? Maybe he brought them to the island because there was that was going on. And he was like scared of their burgeoning. It all comes down to basically humanity. They're not they're not like the Na'vi. They have human in them, and that makes them aggressive. And he was afraid, I think he was afraid of that bubbling up within them. Although the sea people Na'vi were kind of aggressive too.
The Navi in general are kind of aggressive. Like they do that hiss thing, and they got like like when Spider does the hiss thing, it's like him being more violent than a human should be.
Yeah.
Like the Navi being warriors and hunters is definitely core to their identity.
Well, okay, so here's really where I'm going with this. Just in a subtextual level, Jake is afraid of his sons becoming men because because he's peaceful and violence, he doesn't want violence for his children. Look on the other side. The Colonel, when he was with his son, Spider, he was bringing him right along the whole way with everything.
Yeah,
And he was sort of teaching him, he was sort of like making him a part of the war. Like he was bringing him along as a translator, bringing him on the ships and everything. Like he was almost like brainwashed. It felt like he was brainwashing. There was even that scene where he was getting like had the thing spinning.
brainwashed.
Yeah,
Yeah, like yeah,
and
like I think that's okay. Keep going.
no, no, that's
Oh
that's all.
yeah, so I think Spider's future, like it would be cool, but if his future was like as a counterpart to Jake,
Hmm.
where Jake like as a human turned Navi is this incredible thorn in the side of the humans because he knows them.
Yeah,
He knows how they operate. He knows all their equipment, and that knowledge makes him incredibly dangerous to them.
yeah,
And so Spider is the opposite of that, where he's a Navi on the inside, and he's slowly being turned. Yeah, at the very end of the movie, he kind of almost picks his loyalty to being with the Colonel.
hmm
So like it would be neat to see him become like a an incredible thorn in the Navi side.
yeah. And I actually loved that he was against the Colonel in every single way. He even like the Colonel even like moments before had said, "Go ahead, kill him," even though he
Yeah,
didn't. And he like stands for everything that the opposite of what the Colonel stands for. And
he's
yet,
loyal.
and why though? Why? That's the question I had.
Why he's loyal to the Navi?
No, no, why did he save his dad? Why didn't he just let him die? Because he
Well,
represents the end of the
it's
Na'vi.
I think it's that loyalty. It's this like familial connection, which is so important. But also, Quaritch had everything he wanted. He was going to capture Jake, take him back. He had Jake's kid. Everything was going Quaritch's way, and all he had to do was not care if Spider died.
Yeah.
And he essentially sacrificed the entire point of this whole operation, which is getting Jake. Like he sacrificed that to save Spider.
Yeah.
So I think Spider had to like kind of recognize that level of sort of unilateral loyalty and kind of felt the need
Well,
uh
here, let me ask you this then.
to like replicate it.
If it comes down to it, because at the end of the movie, why Spider kind of comes across as a little bit shady. Well, he didn't tell the other Na'vi that he saved his father. He had,
Yeah.
so he has that on his conscience now. He's sort of having his cake and eating it too, which is just going to lead to disaster. At a certain
Yeah,
point,
he now has
um,
like that loyalty to Quaritch means he has split loyalties now.
he has split loyalties. Yeah. So at a certain point, it's going to come down to his dad, humanity. Spider never really saw humanity before this movie.
And he it's kind of weird that he did choose Quaritch because he kind of saw the worst possible humans.
Yeah, but they were human, and he thought that he was so Na'vi. He thought that he didn't have any human in him. He was almost delusional by drawing the stripes on him and everything.
Yeah.
Um, but now he has seen it and he kind of recognizes the importance of that. And so when it comes down to it, is he going to betray the humans for the Na'vi or is he going to betray the Na'vi for the humans? You know?
That's a cool arc for his character.
And I personally think he will end up betraying the Na'vi for the humans. He's
That would
going,
be the more interesting way for the story to go.
yeah, yeah, it would be. Yeah. Because it kind of teaches you also, like, kind of one of the darker lessons of the movie is you can't be both things. You have to
Yeah.
choose one or the other, you know? I'm not sure that is the lesson of the movie, but it's just incredibly well, I think Jake did at some point choose
Oh,
the Na'vi over humans,
he
yeah.
fully chose. Yeah, he fully chose Navi.
But that was a hard
His loyalties are
choice.
not divided.
It wasn't that
Yeah,
hard for Jake, but it is a hard choice, you know?
yeah,
And I don't think Spider's strong enough to make that choice. Yeah. On that note, let's get it done.
yep.
That was a quote from the movie.
Hmm.